Chadi. My job title in the consortium is the following. I'm a deputy contract manager, and on the second part, I'm the claims and change notice manager for FAST Consortium. My role, if you want to describe it in a simple way, in order to understand it, is we manage the changes that come to the FAST contract. For example, we have a new stations added to the scope of work by the client. We take that addition and we analyze it internally, and we make at the final day a proposal to the client with the amounts needed and the time needed. So my job in a simple way is analyzing the changes that impact FAST contract with FAST entities, make a proposal and show it at the end of the day to the client. I've been in FAST Consortium since January 2014. Now it will make approximately 1 year and a half that I'm in this fabulous organization. The success of FAST is impacted on two levels. The first level is the internal level. We should make sure at FAST Consortium that all the entities of the consortium are integrated between each other. The scope of work that comes from the client should be assessed on the civil joint venture, on the track joint venture, and on the system joint venture. So we make sure that the scope of work is well understood and the contractual liabilities are respected between the entities. On a second level, it's impacting the success of FAST with the client, because we enter into the negotiation phase. We should go to see the client, make that change accepted, and at the end of the day, getting the money in. So both levels, the client and the internal level, understanding of the scope and integration in the scope of work is a sign of success for FAST. The skills needed to do that job is, if we want to summarize them, the most important one is the communication skills. We're dealing in a consortium where different procedures exist and different nationalities exist and different companies exist. So each one has its own way of communicating and each one has its own procedure. The most important thing is to have interpersonal communication skills to develop that scope of work. A second point I would say is the analytical skill, because we're dealing with figures at the end of the day. Numbers gets in and out. We should have good analytical skills in order to assess those figures and translate them into profit at the end of the day. And the third one, I would say, it's the organizational skills, because like the client is expecting from us to deliver something in a certain deadline, we should translate the same internally inside the consortium. So setting deadlines, organizing meetings, having the full scope of work integrated into the joint ventures of the consortium and presenting it to the client requires high-level organizational skills. I work closely first with my counterparts in the entities, because as you know, we work with the civil joint venture, the track joint venture, and the transit systems. So I work first with the counterparts that I have on the entities level, which are the change notice teams and the contract managers at the entities level. On a second level, I work closely with the PMG, mainly, of course, the project director, Mr. Jaime, his deputy project director, Mr. Lourmand, and the project manager of PDG and PMO, which is Mr. Choi. At the end of the day, those are the main contacts that I have, along, of course, with my manager, Mr. Luis Lessina, the PDG manager. So they have the entities counterparts and the PMG/PDG members. It's a difficult question to describe. What I love the most is, first, the challenge that a project with this magnitude offers for an engineer like mine. It's a project, it's a mega project, it's not a project, which should be done in a fast-track way. So the challenge of the time and the scope of work is there. And second, if I might say, on a human level, I think the last survey showed that we have 32 nationalities in the consortium. So working with 32 nationalities on a project during 5 years is a challenge in itself. We can learn a lot from others and we can develop our personal skills in order to adapt to the others. As well, also working in Saudi Arabia, which some might consider as being a tough country, but we should adapt, progress and learn from others in this project.